Okay, hello friends, welcome, how's it going? Let's see, we got here Clownfish OG, hello, Farley, hello, Harry Smallwood, hello, Kojak, hello, ODM, yo, Delicast, Funzy, how's it going? Oldster, Uter, hello, Matt Max with the Prime, 29. Yay for daytime stream. Yeah, I got back a little early today. Jay Richie, hello. Prime, what's good? Blue Crayon, how's it going? How are y'all doing? Who called the keyword Avengers today? First, Alex. Alex is doing a subathon event right now. Maybe you can shoot a raid over to him once we're done, cause he might be streaming for a while, right? I don't know actually how long he's gonna go for today though. He finished already? Oh, okay. He did like 2 builds and then finished. Wow, that was fast. Marcia and Teja are streaming. Oh, cool. I actually haven't checked Twitch. Let me double check. Oh yeah, they're both live. That's rare. Rare to see everybody streaming at the same time too. Hey man, some people just finish fast. I think he's continuing the subathon tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fair. Alright, so yeah, so today actually we have a build courtesy of Alex actually. So it's not a build that he commissioned or anything like that. Actually, a while back, when the group buy for this board ran, there were people who were asking me whether I was gonna do a build stream of it, and I was like, no, I'm not, because Alex is the only person doing the stream for it. At least at the time, I think he was the only person actually that did like a build for it, like a feature for it, and that was the CLS SE. And that board already ran, is currently in production, I'm pretty sure. And well, so I reached out to Alex and asked him if I could borrow his unit for a bit, because some people wanted to check out other builds for it, which, you know, they couldn't check out during the time of the GB. Of course, like, this was like a very tight frame, so, you know, kind of ended up taking some time, and, you know, finally it got to me. And I actually did a poll on my Discord server a few days ago about basically what kind of switches and what kind of plate you guys want to see, and unsurprisingly, the poll results were skewed towards MX Blacks on Alu, which is kind of like the classic LZ or top mount TKL build. So yeah, that ended up being the case, and so I ended up preparing switches for it, and today we're gonna build it exactly like that. So that's kind of the bottom line for it. Did it die? What died? Yo, Mangoes, what's up? Funky, hello, how's it going? Check the poll again? No, I mean, it was at the time that I checked the poll, so that was I think it was Saturday morning. Yeah, back when I was checking it, it was like a clear winner on MX Wax on Alu, so that's why I prepped. Oh, I don't have a batch of MX Browns ready, so I can't really do it. Yeah, so here we are. For those who wanted other switches, I understand. That's it. Maybe you should have rallied for support in the server. But yeah, so let's get this stuff out of the case here. So there's our Alu plate. I did have some other plates available because other LZ boards also have the same exact plate. So basically they're compatible with this board. Like the CLS, I think the RDS, the MP, like all those basically use the same exact plate. So those would be compatible, and so I had like PC and alu and alu half or whatever, and some other options. But yeah, alas, we're going to be building a build on full alu here, MX Blacks. Right now, this one has HMX Macchiatos, which are the switches that Alex actually ended up building with when he was doing the proto build stream. So that's pretty much what is here right now. I just put on a set of keycaps here. This is just from like some OG Cherry double shots. I just slapped them on there just so that if you guys wanted to hear what this one was like. That said, Alex did type on this. This is HMX Macchiatos on a FR4 plate. So this currently has an FR4 plate, full FR4 plate with the HMX switches. Our Affline Haze is new. I've never heard of them before. They're somewhat new. They're like last year, somewhere in the middle of last year, I think they came out. Keith Spencer sells them. But yeah. So this is the build that Alex did for his stream, which you can actually check on YouTube, and you'll definitely be able to find the build there. And so I can type on this and show you guys what it's like, and then we can kind of go from there. Let's see, does this work actually? I think it should. So we can try this. What the cables being finicky. Oh, weird. Okay, let me try a different one. For some reason, some cables tend to be more finicky than others, and I have no idea why. Huh. Let me flash this. I got a via firmware file from McLovin, which this uses. So let me go ahead and flash that into this. Where is it? Oh, here. Okay. Hey, Master of Doge, what's good? How's it going? Alright, should be good. Let's now. That's the McLovin Infinity Revision 3. Okay. For some reason this PCB isn't working, which I don't know why. Okay, I'll just type on this without the PCB working. I have a different PCB here anyway because I didn't wanna use the same build. I just wanted to leave this build alone, so I'm gonna type on this without the PCB plugged in. I think that's probably easier. All right, so this is gonna be. These are the HMX Macchiatos that Alex originally built this with some cherry double shots. Okay. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much what this is. This is HMX Macchiatos. I mean, you can see the switches in a bit. So, so yeah, here are the mods. All right, so that's the HMX switches here, and you can see that these are indeed the Macchiatos. I mean, you can just see them right there. Right there. So those are the HMX Macchiato switches. They're on an FR4 plate. I believe Alex did not screw in the spacebar screw here, so that might be why it sounds kind of like a little bit deeper. But we're gonna remove this build and we're gonna try out the MX Black build. So I can show you guys what the keyboard looks like and we can get started. So this is the LZ CLS SE, pretty much the successor to the old LZ CLS. If you did watch the Alex stream, this actually had Phillips screws, which I replaced with hex screws, just because I prefer using hex. And pretty much it's the same design as the LZ CLS. The only difference is there's two main differences. One is going to be the USB-C port instead of USB Mini. The other main difference is going to be the weight. The weight on the LZ CLS SE is much larger and covers a larger area of the back here. This one has like this kind of like some sort of like, I don't know what it is, like some sort of like coating application on it that kind of feels like, I don't know, like maybe like paper, but it has like this kind of like weird pattern on it. There was an option to get a raw brass weight if you wanted. I think all you had to do was like DM LZ when you were ordering your keyboard, but currently this board is in production. So this is not a proto review. This is not like, I'm not promoting anything like this for anybody. I'm just doing this build because I wanted to check out the LZ CLS SE myself. And also other people did, so I was like, oh, why not just reach out to Alex? He's pretty close to me, I mean, relatively, and get it shipped to me and do a build and, you know, send it back. So that's pretty much the gist of this. This is the gray unit that Alex got to review a while back, and yeah. All right, so we can go ahead and open this up. What kind of finish is on the weight? I'm not sure. I don't know what I don't remember what LZ described it as. Some sort of like some sort of coating. I don't know. Let me see what he described it to be. Where is it? Some sort of, is this some sort of, he said UV printing? I'm not sure if it's UV printed though. I think it's something else. It doesn't feel like UV print, but yeah, some sort of like coating, some sort of application on it. Oh, what's up, Kiwi? Oh, it's around that time. If you hear that sound, that's Mr. Kiwi demanding for what's his soon. Oh. Slippery. All right. So let's go ahead and take off these screws. Didn't replace these guys because I didn't take those off. But these are gonna be the top mount screws. These are still Phillips. So we're gonna take that off. Those weight screws look horrible? What do you mean? They're just regular countersunk hex screws. Just 4 random screws, M3 and giant weight. Wasn't the CLS basically the same? Or was it 2 screws on the CLS because the weight was smaller, right? Let me check. We can check the Keycaps thread because the CLS and the CLS SE's differences are not that big. Okay, so we'll just take this out of the way. CLS is 2 screws, got it. So, you know, pretty standard LZ top. So it has symmetrical mounting points. It has 8 of them, and they're just straight across from each other. Nothing special beyond that. Just says LZ made in Korea over there. It's a nice gray. I actually do really like this kind of warm gray. Has this bronzish kind of tone to it. And then let's see. This also came with a diffuser. So there is an acrylic diffuser here that goes in between. If you wanted to put it in between, you can just put it. You can just put it aside as well. And that's pretty much the gist of the case here. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the board. Is just standard top mount and nothing else. Does this have alignment pins? I don't think so. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Hey Lightning, what's your opinion on the Teacher GAF 910? It's pretty nice. I mean, if you like the other 910s, you're probably gonna like the GAF one too. Nothing too much different aside from if you like the art, right? If you like the art of the GAF 910, and if you are into the 910 design itself, it pretty much is the same as the 910. It's similar. It's going to be similar to 910 V2 ME, which is going to support O-ring and top mount. So that's pretty much the bottom line for it. It's going to be similar to a 910 V2 ME. Difference between them in quality or sound between the 910 V2 ME and the 910 GAF? I personally don't really think so. but I don't think I've done a side to side between the two with the exact same build being done for them. The GSK is like a cross between the GAF and the ME. I haven't seen the GSK ones in person, so I don't know. But what was different about it? Which one is better for it? I prefer top mount for the 910, but I know people who have been using O-ring since they built it. The GSK is a bit narrower. Oh, narrower in terms of like the bezel, I guess. Top mount with all the screws in? Yeah, typically I just do all the screws. I mean, especially for the new 910, like not the first one. The new 910 has the screws around the spacebar too, so I don't think it would matter too much to use all the screws. It's not like the screws are under the spacebar, which tends to stiffen the spacebar a little bit. But that wouldn't be something you would have to worry about. Okay, gonna just check that this is working. Okay, cool. Everything's there. Layouts. Let me configure this real quick. All right. So I think that's pretty much good to go. Don't need the lighting, so I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, Kiwi. Well, alright, Kiwi's demanding. What's up? Alright, fine. I'll be right back. Kiwi is needy. Diego has a, oh yeah, I do have a 910 VKC, and other Vietnamese customs. What else is Vietnamese? I actually don't know. Is the weave-in technically Vietnamese? I actually don't know where Trivium Tech is from. Maybe that one counts? Do you have a VKG corn? I don't. Any interest in building an A7X Nika? I mean, I'm willing to check it out as long as you know, pay for my time, pretty much. Okay, keep. Yeah. He's right here. I mean, I'll be interested in building one. I've seen photos, but those are all photos that Mr. What's his name? The A7X design guy. Kibua or whatever his name is, he posts on IG. 1mm PCB. Oh wow. Oh look, Kiwi. Do you see yourself? Oh. Oh, he's purring. Ah. You want to say something? Want to say something? No. Okay. He wants to eat. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, let's get back into it. So, oh, hello, Blood Easy. How's it going? Anyway, 1mm PCB sounds interesting. Sounds like really soft, to be honest. Okay, so let's get back to the build here. So, got my steps here. Got my mixed blacks here. I need my usual modding foam thingy. CEO has the mid-tier performance. I actually do wonder what Kiwi would rate this. He's been pretty happy. We got him a bunch of the food that he really likes, so he's had a very big appetite these days. Anyway, do you enjoy your VKG? You mean the 910? I enjoy it, yeah. But the first version of the 910, the V1, or pretty much all of them, like the 910, 910RE, 910 VKC, 910 CE, 910 SE, I think. Those are all like the V1 iteration of the 910, and those are different top mount positions for the mounting, for the screw positions, and so those will be it'll be a bit stiffer compared to the V2 or the GAF, or the GSK, for example. So yeah, it's a bit different, but I enjoy it nonetheless. I built that one with what did I build my VKC with? Let me double check here. I built that with MX Blacks, right? Yeah, MX Blacks on the CBB stone plate, if I recall correctly. I think that's what I built that with. I'll get one. Has to just wait. Now that I have big bucks, do you? Congrats, I guess. I'll sponsor you stay in the US. Do you guys are really holding up over the last few days? It's been pretty good. I've been enjoying it. I enjoy plateless boards a lot, so I personally like it a lot. Yeah, so I guess it kind of depends on whether you enjoy plateless or not. But also, one thing about the Lily is that it's not very stiff. I mean, sorry, it's neither too bouncy nor too stiff. So it's like it has the benefit of plateless in the sense that like you're not pressing against the plate, so it's kind of softer, but it has the isolated gasket feel, because you do put gaskets on both sides of the case, and so the PCB doesn't really flex too much. Like it feels stiff. If you press hard on it, it doesn't really move that much. So it doesn't have a lot of the give that a lot of these plateless boards as of late have had. It's kind of it's different from, like, let's say I think the 7V was a little bit different from it too. So it doesn't have as much give, but it has the softness and the sound of plateless, which I actually like a lot because it means it's not as like bouncy and kind of like movement heavy on it compared to other boards. So it's kind of refreshing. It's kind of nice. Lily is 7U? Yeah, Lily is 7U. It's MX HKB only 7U. Yeah. Does the Lily bottom out? No, I don't think so. I don't think I can bottom out on this. Like, it will be pretty tough for me to bottom out on this, I think. I'll have to press really hard, and even then, I'll be more nervous about damaging something else than bottoming out. Yeah. So, I would rather not, you know? Yeah, I don't think I can bottom out on this. Link. Nice. Mr. Mason, how are you? 32 months. Crazy. The 7V was a bounce house? Yeah. 7V is very bouncy, that's for sure. You're gonna buy Lily, Harry. I'm debating the gray versus the gold. Hold on, gray. I thought it was. There was. For Lily, there is lilac, red, taupe, silver, blue gray. So I'm assuming by gray and gold you mean blue gray and taupe, right? The taupe color is really nice. I mean, you saw it on Alex's stream, or I think that, like, there are some photos too, but I think that one is it's the most unique color as far as, like, there isn't that many boards that do that specific tone of, like, kind of like a warm gray. So that one is pretty nice if you want something neutral. Blue gray, if you lean towards, like, bluer sets like this, blue gray is, like, a great choice. You can still get it with, like, match it up with, like, other sets too, but right now, like, with Hammerhead, it looks great. Last time we tried Pacific and it didn't look that good because Pacific has a lot more blue in it, but this blue gray definitely has a good amount of gray and a little bit of green. So a more muted set, like Hammerhead, worked a little better than Pacific. Okay. Lagomo 1 showed up, so I have a grinder to season. Oh, fancy new grinder. Wait, Mason, do you have another grinder that you're not using now? I actually am. I'm looking out for grinders, but I really don't want to spend the money. They're so expensive. Although it is the first piece of equipment to upgrade, but yeah. Coffee mentioned. Yeah. I've been enjoying the drinks I've been making at home, though. I still suck at steaming milk and actually, like, getting it to the right amount of consistency for the microphone, but it's been really yummy. Not having to spend $5, anywhere between $5 to $7 for a coffee drink outside is very nice. So yeah. What are you using right now? So I have, for my machine, I have like 80s like Gaja espresso machine, like super old school. And then for my grinder right now, I'm using a 1Z, was it JX Pro? It's whichever is the one that has grind size compatibility from espresso all the way to pour over. I'm using that one. It's been working pretty well as a hand grinder. I do have a second hand grinder. I have the Lido ET as well, but the Lido right now I have it set for pour overs. So basically, we just use the 1Z for espresso, and then we use the Lido for pour over stuff when we grind beans, and and obviously tune between the two, like between different beans. Right now, yeah, and then right now I'm enjoying the batch of Glitch coffee beans that I got recently. We finished one of the 3 that we got, and I think I'm currently having, like, I think most recently we've been having the Colombia Huila Monte Blanco, whatever, culturing, I think it's called. That one's really yummy. It has like I think that's the one that has like a white chocolate and like milk tea and like some fruity tones. Pretty yummy. Really good. Playlist is so fun. That board though, I think Gawk is the only one really doing playlists, right? Oh yeah? I think I don't know. I mean, I think other boards do playlists fine. But I think there's kind of like 2 extremes, so yeah. Want to buy playlist Alice? Oh, Alice is such a long layout though. I actually kind of am not super keen on the idea of playlist on Alice. I think it will make it too soft, because you have all these points where you gotta mount the PCB onto, and then it's kind of a long layout. So there, I feel like there's gonna be like weak spots in between. I was taking advantage of the work setup because I live so close. You need a grinder recommendation? 078S one and done. Is that the one of those DF machines or whatever? I actually don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But I've been seeing people talk about some new machines that shipped. Like, was it from the Sculptor series? Like the ones that were on the Kickstarter? Some people like it, and I've heard people like... I've seen a lot of people sell them too. So I'm probably just gonna wait for a good deal. Half plate Alice? Half plate Alice would work okay. Yeah, I just did for my Alice I just did full PC, and that worked pretty fine. Yeah. I think my Dollis though is built with one of those PE plates, the CVV ones. Oh, it's a timer. Never mind. If you aren't spending stupid money, I don't know what stupid money is defined as for a grinder though. I feel like, what would that be like? Like, I don't know how much money is stupid money for a grinder. I feel like they're so expensive already. Yeah, I was like 1.5 probably is stupid money, or like above that for a grinder. So yeah. Oh, Mr. Chris is in the New England Keyword Coffee group. I mean group coffee chat. Oh, I see, makes sense. Mr. Coffee Influencer. Yeah. How much do people charge for $1 nowadays? I don't know. You can go check MM. Probably not too much. I would imagine like, yeah, like $400. Don't have funny money to dive into coffee, been enjoying a simple setup. So I've only gone into espresso because we found this machine. It was like a neighborhood find, and we basically got it for free. And I basically serviced it, right? So I got basically like Cafiza and like all that crap to clean it up, descale that, and you know, just cleaned everything up, and it's working well. So that's kind of why I've been doing espresso lately. But like before that, I was just doing pour overs. We have a V60 as well as a ChemX. I think we mainly use the ChemX. But I recently got a fellow EKG Stag, like the kettle, and the guy also sent a Hario switch, so I was gonna try using that and see how I like it. But yeah. Oh, Mr. Rick. Damn, 42. Oh, wow, it's been that long. Crazy. Thanks, buddy. How are you? Need Pepe Brewer? Yeah, I don't have Pepe Hario switch, unfortunately. Or was it a V60? Oh. Yeah, Pepe V60, pretty lit. I remember seeing people talking about it in the CBV server, and I was like, oh, that's funny. Pepe switch. You ignore my sub message just like you should ignore the poll and build with MX Browns on PC full. I can't ignore it. It's too late, dude. I already have my switches here. If I'm gonna do MX Browns, I need to like desolder a different board, which is a pain in the ass. Too late now. And also, what can I do? It's democracy. The poll. I polled it so that people would choose the one they wanted. If they want MX Blacks, then what am I supposed to do? Ignore it? I don't think so. That's not how it works. I lose credibility. Democracy is a fallacy. Okay, that's kind of true. About to be tested again in 2024, but you know, for some small things we can work around it with some democracy, right? Esa Hastro? I don't have an Esa Hastro. Sorry. If you're not gonna rig elections, why even hold them? I know. Could be like my buddy Vlad and go for a 5th term with the Democratic vote, surely. And then just squash the protests out there. And BD. My friend Vladimir. Americans are choosing between two senile white men again. It's kind of interesting how I was actually kind of shocked after I moved to the States how that's very common for the presidential race. Like, it's actually kind of surprising how unlikely it is that a young candidate will pop up in history. Like, I feel like it happens like twice every 100 years. Young-ish at that, by the way. Lightning, how hard is it to get GAF artisans in 2024? In keyboards, nothing is too difficult if you have enough money to throw at it. For the most part. That said, it is difficult to find specific things. So if you're looking for very specific things that people will tell you, hey, you're not going to find this because it's just hard to forget, or like hard to convince people to actually let go of them, yeah, no money will actually solve that problem though. But that goes with any artisans. Another swing on the miss from Lamp. No, I mean I can refund your points. It's fine. Here, refund. We got Vivek. He's totally young and relatable and not a shitty person. If the candidate can't do a layup, they shouldn't be able to run for president. Yeah, well. So glad to be in Australia where there is zero corruption and outside influence. I mean, this is the world speaking. How hard is it to buy you out in this hobby? With the right amount of money, you can buy me out as well. Hashtag buy me out. I actually think it would be hard to buy me out, though. No one person would be able to buy me out. Actually, I don't think so. I don't think one person would be able to buy me out. It would have to be a group buy to buy me out. And you'll be funding a lot of things, like all these future endeavors for me, you know, like probably a wedding, probably a house, maybe a car. Just kidding. I don't think it'll be that expensive, to be quite honest, but obviously I'm joking here. But I do think one person, it will be very, very unlikely. If I were to like one day be like, hey, I'm selling everything. I have this price and you gotta buy me out. I don't know. I don't know how likely that would be. Chinese billionaire challenge accepted? I don't know if there is one person who would do it though. Not in 2024. If I maybe had posted everything up in 2021 or something, right at the peak of everything, maybe the buy me out scheme would have worked well. But I don't think that will fly anymore. I feel like there's so many undesirable things that I have that nobody would really want. What's the MOQ? MOQ is just one of everything, right? It's buy me out, all or nothing. How much Korean fried chicken? Oh man, no amount of Korean fried chicken could buy me out. For several reasons. Probably because you would pick the wrong kind of Korean fried chicken that I like. And then 2, because it is a little too much Korean fried chicken. You gotta add the right sides to that order. April Fools is coming up. Make the post. Sad for Simon. Oh yeah, I did hear Simon had to sell his stuff because of his financial situation, or specifically I think it was employment related, but yeah. Bet artisans could organize a Miago buyout in less than 24 hours? I don't think so. I actually doubt it. I actually doubt it. I don't think that's possible. In 24? I don't think so. Nope. I really don't think so. I have a lot of things that people wouldn't pick out, so I don't think people would buy it out. There would be a lot of extra for someone to pitch in. Not someone, many people actually. And I'm not gonna take care of all the bundling and crap. No way. It's buy me out. One full package. You should just give me that old Korean piece of junk. I showed you the old Korean piece of junk in person already. Can I buy you out to dinner? I mean, you're free to take me out for dinner, yes. I think you were asking me if that we should go to dim sum or something sometime, but I mean, dim sum's not a dinner thing really, but yeah, we could. Some pickled radish and you're good. Boo. Boo is pretty good, yeah. Have you even showed your entire collection at once? No, I don't think so. And I personally wouldn't. I don't feel like there's anything good to come out of it. Not to mention, it kind of diminishes the kind of like subjective appreciation of things. You diminish it. You diminish it more the more you dilute it by showing a ton of stuff. I feel, you know. So yeah, that's one big reason why I don't like big collection photos, is because it kind of makes me not appreciate the individual things as much. So I kind of like feel like whatever about it. And so I never really endeavored to take a big picture of everything. It's kind of pointless. But yeah. Diego, would you actually keep anything if he bought you out? Yeah, there's things I would keep, yeah. There's some things I would keep for sure. There's a number of things I would keep, yeah. For sure. That was a new Korean piece of junk with magnets and hookers? Wait, what? Didn't I bring... Wait, was it not with you? Didn't I bring my Mini sometime? The first time. No, the first time. That was the second time. The Polestar was... Didn't we meet twice? You've only seen me once? Who was it then? Somebody else was visiting then, and I brought the Mini back then. Who was it? Who was visiting? Someone was visiting and I brought the Mini for whatever reason. It wasn't you? Who was it? I don't know. I don't remember then. Huh. Really? It wasn't you? I feel like I... That's weird. Do you have a number of how many caps you have? How many caps by that do you mean artisans? I mean, yeah, I have an estimate of how much I have. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a pretty big number, and it's pretty stupid. That's my fault. Accumulated too much stuff over there. Like, how many years now? 8 years. 7.5, I guess. Now that Labby has one, I can finally see one, a real one IRL. Where's Labby again? Boston, right? Something like that. I think I saw Boston related stuff on his stream background. Greater Boston area, fair. Yeah, I have a lot of artisans though, if you're asking. Just a lot of things accumulated. I don't sell often. Problem I have is that I don't sell often. I probably should, but I really can't be bothered a lot of the time. It's just so much work and people and you put a photo up and then someone DMs you and then they're like, oh, so why are you selling? So what's the price? Oh, can you send me like 10 other photos from 10 different angles? Oh wait, this angle is off by 5 degrees. Can you take the picture again? I'm like, and then it's like, let me think about it. And then I'm like, no. Ballpark of GMK sets I own. I definitely own like close to 100 sets. Diego, are you going to Kanki's meetup this year? What date is that gonna be? Is that in the summer again? How do you store them all? Like this. You see these guys? Those are GMK sets over here in the back. Those are the long GMK trays. I have a bunch here. And then I have a bunch stored in the closet down there. I have them in these bins. In those like plastic containers. And then I have a bunch in bags that are just next to me here. If you never keep count, you can never say you have a problem, right? I mean, I know I have a problem. And I often tell myself, at least it's not drugs, right? Not just kidding. I know it's a problem. But I mean, if you want to see, like, it's like this. Let me see if I can show. Like that. That's GMK sets. I spaced the shelves exactly so that they would fit exactly like 3 high, and that's 5 across. But yeah, that's more compact than mine. Yeah, I took a while thinking about it. Had to buy the right shelf for it basically. I pretty much bought this. This is the IKEA Billy, right? But I bought this thinking that I can adjust the shelving. So, and then I was looking for the containers of the right size that could fit like 7U space bars. I think that was like the biggest thing. It should be able to fit at least the base kit entirely. And I think these guys can fit probably a base kit and maybe a novelties kit or a spacebar kit. Like basically like one base kit and one child kit ish is what it fits. So which is good enough. I usually don't buy more than the base kit. But I do have a bunch of sets with novelties though, so it's at least they do fit in the same container, so that kind of does make it a lot more compact. If there's a lot of child kits though that don't fit, that can be a little bit problematic. Usually get extensions. Okay, that's fair. Extensions, it depends what set it is. How they design the kit is probably what I care the most about. But yeah, I'll get extensions if it's something that I really do use. But like there's, I mean, sometimes I'll like edit for, I mean, before they used to do extensions for like space bars, so I would do that. But I think nowadays a lot of the Alice spacebar stuff tends to be in base kit now. But yeah, for a lot of old kits that was not the case. I did have to buy like small niche kits to fill compatibility, which is kind of annoying. I like to sort by mods, effort, etc. Oh, I don't have it sorted but like that. So the way I have it sorted is this is the way I sort it. So I have this is beta.js, and this beta.js right now I have it split up by, I have like two small, usually I either have one small or two smaller bags, but usually that smaller bag will have numpad, all the numpad stuff that I don't use, like R1 delete, end, page down, ISO stuff, like actually sometimes nowadays I'm even putting the 1.25U and full touch caps lock, which I never use. Usually just put it in there. I pretty much just keep the 7U stuff out, and the 65-75 column, like for page up, page down, end, right? Basically the bare minimum I keep out, and the rest I put in a smaller bag. So when I like dump them out, it's pretty much exactly what I need except for the bag. The bag just has stuff I don't need, so I just put the bag back in the box. Is this the same box that CGBN uses? Maybe. These are probably the same as the ones like Omnitype was carrying for a while. I'm not sure if they still carry these. But yeah, I bought these from like a regular office supplier store for pretty cheap. So for me, I just checked the sizing that other people were using that fit the 7U spacebar, and then I just looked up either index card boxes or yeah, like organizer boxes, kind of like container store type, but not the container store, because container store is kind of expensive. And my goal usually is to get them under like $250 a piece at most, including shipping. I think past $3 a pop is pretty expensive. So yeah, if it's more than $3, I think it's kind of pricey, so I tend to usually pass on anything like that. So I'll usually go for places that just sell generic office goods and see what they have. And if they don't have it, I just wait until they have it. GMK Tray Master Race. Oh gosh. I've heard people using the Daiso meal prep or something like that. Yeah, I mean, pretty much any storage container works as long as it fits the kits that you need, and you have, I think the most important thing is not even that it fits the keycaps alone, but that you can actually fit it in the places that you're going to put it on, like the shelves, or you know, maybe your closet has shelves or whatever. If it doesn't fit there, then it's kind of pointless. So I think that was my biggest priority at the time, was like it needs to fit in these guys over here. Before I used to have them in these IKEA like zippered bags. I don't know what they're called. I think they're like stuck, STUK. I think I had them in those for a while. And then for those, these fit perfectly, like in like a certain amount of rows. And then I moved, and then I was organizing my stuff and decided to get these the Billy bookcase here, so that helped me organize a lot of these guys. But yeah, I think bags, like Ziploc bags, are actually more space efficient though, if you are, you know, because you can just compress them into, take the air out of it and compress them into like smaller, tighter spaces. That's definitely true. The only reason I got these was because I needed to have a way to quickly get stuff, like know exactly where it is and quickly get it. Like here I can at least sort it by like alphabetical order or by like most used, whatever it might be. So that's kind of why. But I did use plastic bags for like a long time. Sous vide your space bars. I mean, don't people have those? Someone, who was it? Was it Sifo who told me? He linked me like this IC about that Laminar Designs block of aluminum, basically, that you would just clamp on a spacebar and chuck it into a sous vide. Something like that. I think I saw something like that, like for straightening your space bars. I was like, oh, okay. Over-engineered, but I guess it works. Because you can get an even amount of clamping force. Spacebar unfucker? Yeah, that one. Exactly that. That's the one I'm talking about. Dr. Killswitch, hello, how's it going? Daiso stuff is great. I don't think I have a Daiso near me though, so I can't really get Daiso stuff. But yeah, I do agree Daiso is really good. I do wish I had a Daiso near me. Link me sous vide spacebar fixer. It's on Geekhack ICs. Someone link it if you guys got the link. Or just type SBUF Geekhack on Google. Probably should show up. Anyway, did I miss anything? I don't think I did. Does ad block really? Oh no, wait, no, that's not. That's from. Yeah. Diego, what color would you go for, Lily, other than blue gray? Other than blue gray, I would go for either lilac or taupe. If you don't have enough silver, then silver. Silver is like the classic. But if you're looking for an interesting color, I think the taupe and the lilac I think are pretty cool. I have too much purple, then go with the taupe. The warm gray looking one. Sort of hint of brown, I guess. But yeah, the taupe one is super nice. I feel like red is a niche pick because red requires you to have a set that works well with it, in my opinion. I mean, you can always do like beige or wop or whatever, but it is red. It's a strong color. It's kind of a niche choice. I feel like after one red board, you're kind of done with the red keyboards, so only do it if you really want it. But I think other than that, the taupe and the silver are the way to go. Unless you're a lol stacks. Oh yeah, he really likes red, doesn't he? Ryan. If only black was available. I don't have a black board. Oh, really? That's surprising. Considering black is so common, I feel. But I guess for maybe for your time when you came into the hobby, it was less common because a lot of people were always looking for quote unquote more interesting colors. I gambled with the green on the F1 GB. Black is the color you go for if you have a bad anodizer. That's fair. Black and silver. Maybe that's exactly why a lot of these old customs or whatever did black and silver. Black, silver, and gray. Those were the three colors that always happened. Actually, gray much less often, but yeah. I just didn't want to be boring. Now I want to be full circle. That's exactly full circle. You don't want to be boring. That's how everyone does it, right? You don't want to be boring, so you go with colorful things, and then you want to be boring, so you do cherry mix blacks on Alu on a black or silver board with beige and Lube or Dolce and call it a day. What color goes with Army Green? GMK Olive, probably. GMK Olive is a really nice set for Army Green. Pastisha Juice Box, hello. How's it going? At least have one boring board so you can pair with colorful keycaps as well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Neutral case colors will go well with colorful stuff too, depending on how bold you feel. Doing good. How are you, Diego? I'm doing all right. Would you go boring board and colorful keycaps or boring keycaps and colorful board? I prefer boring board with colorful keycaps than the other way around. I prefer to keep the colorful stuff with the colorful boards. Like colorful keycaps with colorful boards. I think that's kind of more fun. But I do think I actually don't like the colorful keyboard and boring keycaps as much. I don't know why. It just kind of feels like a waste of colorful keyboard, I guess. It's kind of how I ultimately feel about that one. Why do you keep chatting in yourself? I don't know what key set we're gonna use today, but let me just grab a random GMK set. Oops. Oh, damn it. Do you have GMK Carbon? Yeah, it's on my Ocho Cuatro right now. I'm just gonna use these for stat testing right now. Just wanted to try a fresh set and then one of my test keys over there. Oh, that's not the stab, okay. Getting late. Have a good stream. Kojak, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a good one. Right side feels like has a little bit of less loop than I want. pretty good. Okay, pretty good. Just double check. All right, cool. We're good. Good stabs. All right, let's get the rest of the switches in. Some of these switches have a little too much solder on them. These are desoldered from another board. Just gonna wipe it off. Oh, it's kind of warm. What type of sauce or rub do you usually get with your Korean fried chicken? I like soy garlic, but or like, you know, whichever the one with the garlic is. Spicy gochujang seems most authentic. Yeah, but I'm not huge on spicy food, so I personally don't really opt for it. I don't mind doing like half though, cause I'll eat it anyway. But if I had to choose just one, I prefer going with a non-spicy version of it. That said, I know some people are just into spicy food more, period. So like the choice is more obvious there for them. But at least for me, I prefer the regular soy garlic. But half is good. It's never a bad idea to do half if you want to try it. I usually try it the first time if I'm going to a place that's new. I do try half, try it out. If I like the spicy one as well, then I'll get half again. But if it's a place that I already know what it tastes like and I didn't love the spicy one as much, then I just go full of one. Dry rub, sweet honey butter. Sweet honey butter sounds a little too sweet for me, but maybe that's actually okay. I actually am kind of curious about what the dry rub would be like. You know? We had buldak KFC over the weekend. It was not as spicy as expected. Oh, cool. Buldak. I feel like buldak would be pretty spicy, no? That's kind of surprising. Maybe just tone down a little. Crap, I bent the pin. Have you ever noticed like a small catch mid-stroke on AP stabs? Small catch. Like pressing. Let me see. I get it on like 60-70% of them when I use 2.5 alone, and not at all when I use BDZ. Okay. Then I get like 25% sluggish from getting lube on the housings. Any idea? Almost feels like the wire is barely hitting part of the housing on the way down or something. I do wonder if the housing, if the wire happens to be a little too long, it would definitely probably hit the housing right on the way down. That said, I don't get it on these guys right now have AP, and I don't get that. That said, these have tactile, so maybe the bump is getting in the way of that, or at least in the way of feeling it. But at least for these ones, I don't feel that. Can't say I necessarily feel a catch mid-stroke, but then, I don't know. We'll have to check these ones then. Because these ones I have them lube with 205. I pretty much always lube AP stats with 205. And I also, and in this case I have linears, so. Didn't that happen with Juan, and that's why Diego does this unclipping clipping thing? So that's just to address like sluggishness. But it could be like having some form of sluggishness could be more exacerbated during like middle of the keystroke. That said, I'm not like 100% sure if that's your case, but worth checking. Yeah, it could. Yeah, also, yeah, ruling out a spacebar issue. Yeah, it's all fair. I do your clip on clip breaking thing too? Do wonder. And it's definitely not the switch, I imagine. Do wonder. Good night, lads. What's fun to catch some of a stream for once? Sounds good, Farley. Take it easy. Have a good night. Thank you so much for coming by. Get it on multiple boards and different caps and switches. I wonder if I'm not being as sensitive as you are about it to feel like a catch, so to speak. Like maybe it is a global thing and I'm just not feeling that because maybe I'm not paying attention too much to like slow motion bits, kind of like in the middle of the stroke. Like, do you feel it strongly on, like, even if you're using the keys normally, like not like slowing down to test them? Because I do notice some people talk about issues when they like slow down a lot to test things, and I'm like, well, you're literally trying to fish for problems, so maybe that's why you're sensitive to it. But if you're just using it normally, do you notice it still? It gets worse the harder and fast. Okay, so it seems like it is a problem for you. Interesting. Well, if that were the case, I would have already noticed. So I guess I haven't gotten that. So I do wonder if it's something else. Like, yeah, like could be a switch or it could be the stab. But you can always check, like if you have the assembly already out, you can always see if the wire does actually catch on anything. Oh, another thing you can always check is whether the keycap is catching on the housing. Sometimes, like for example, if you have like this part of the housing slightly damaged, or like it's like a little bit too small relative to the keycap, sometimes the keycap can like catch at the edge here of the top housing and the stem. Yeah, because if it actually got worse, if I'm like typing faster slash normally, then I should have noticed, right? Like otherwise I would be willfully ignoring it. So, but I don't think that's something I'm doing lately. So, something I'll willfully ignore sometimes is like how quote unquote hollow a case seems to be. But usually for stabs, I'm also kind of picky enough not to like leave anything like that alone. Yeah, I would try to see if like you actually have any physical parts that do catch. Another thing you can always try, I mean, it's a little bit of a far-fetched thing to try, but it's like get like a marker and like paint a little bit of like the piece that you suspect could be catching and see if it rubs off on another part. Basically, it's, you know, you're just trying to check if something actually does touch something else when it shouldn't. Yeah, because if it's happening on all your builds, I really do wonder. Extra switches, okay. Oh wow, I haven't heard the song in so long. Alright. Black housings, yeah. Maybe try like whiteout. I don't know. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. It's probably too thick for that though. It's, or if you have like an oil marker or something like that. No worries. Jason709, hello. How's it going? How are you? Okay. Okay. I think this is working now. All right. Cool. All right. I think that's pretty much done. So time to put it into the case. Classic full alu and MX black build. Nothing as classic as this, I guess. What size screws are these? Maybe I can get some hex screws for this too. Let me see what I got. Be right back. What size are these screws? These are 5mm. Okay. M3. I think these are M3s. Let's check. M3. M3 should work. All right. Let's put these guys on. Should we keep all the screws on this? All 8 of them? Or should we leave the spacebar one off? Do you like Lily with GMK Tuesday or red Lily with Kiko with Darling? Ooh, I have to say I'm a little more partial towards the lilac myself, but if you're very keen on having a red board, then the red is nice. We'll try with all the screws right now. How about that? Red boards are so sexy. I mean, they are. It is red. After all, it is just, well, red. Oh. I guess it is 5 mil. I thought using 6 would have been okay, but I can feel a little bit of give. Okay, I'm gonna try to find shorter screws. I think these are just barely too long, so I'm gonna try to see if I have M4mm. If not, I'll just use the Phillips ones actually. I think I'm just gonna use the Phillips ones. Forget it. Too lazy to go find screws. Thought I would be okay using them, but you hitting on red hard tonight? No, not really. I think it's because I have red boards too, right? I think the only thing about red cases is just that it's a very strong color. So it kind of just depends on whether you really want that or not. I think ultimately, like, at least one keyboard being red, like in your collection, let's say, is pretty nice. It's a nice bold color, and there's actually right now there's a ton of keycap sets that go with the color, so it works pretty well. But I think there's a lot of cases where you might either not have a set that works well with it, or it just is too strong of a color. But yeah. Waiting for my Neo 80. Ooh, red top. Ooh, red top, champagne bottom. Like a red and gold sort of. That's an interesting combo. Still waiting for Hamon R2 to ship. Oh, that's right. That one hasn't fulfilled yet because of the... I think they took longer because of the 1.5U key fixed, right? I think that was the main thing. Okay, I guess... Oh, I guess I don't have an extra screw here. Okay, cool. Guess we'll go without the spacebar screw being mounted. just like Alex's previous build. And this time I'll actually take off this acrylic diffuser for now. GMK Slasher is nice too. Oh yeah, GMK Slasher is a set that came out pretty nice, despite the designer ghosting on the set, but it turned out pretty nice. Oh yay, a completely original and insanely high QC LZ board. That guy makes the highest quality finishing in QC. He even evolved to using a JST and daughter board. This gotta be a shit post. Okay, oh, here's the other screw. All right. So, Mr. Lamb wanted carbon. Okay, we can do carbon. Carbon's fine. I can go get that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Got Carbon here. Oh, Mr. Custom with the raid. Hello. Thank you. How's it going? What are you doing? That's a late stream too. How are you, sir? On a serious note, this is the first time I caught a stream. The YouTube content is great as always. Thanks. Only sound test I trust. Oh, really? I don't do much. if there's anything to be said about it, I don't do too much. I gotta go back to bed as it's late. Sounds good. Sky was taken, sadly. Sky was taken, I see. Take it easy. Thanks for coming by. Puree, hello. Oh, Mr. Nico. Hello. How's it going? Got the French community members here. How are you guys doing? IP. LZ is definitely of an era in TKL design, so I appreciate him for that. An era of all time, I guess. Yeah. He's in that like old school era of keyboard designs in Korea, right? He's been around for a long time, and even back then, I guess he did a lot of weird things. Like if you kind of consider like the LZS or the LZF, which have basically have a frame, and then below the frame is just the bottom with a semi-cylindrical bar for a foot. That's kind of interesting. Like that definitely is like a LZ thing. And then obviously there's like the SE or the RE, which kind of like have standout features from the case as well. LZ iron. That's an interesting one too. Music is a little bit louder. Oh, did I make it louder by accident? Might just be the sound. I'll lower it a little bit. LZ Iron is baller. It's a weird board for sure. But I mean, it kind of speaks to the time though, like Iron Man being popular around that time, you know. Like the hype from the movies and like among other things. I'm getting an LZGH V2 next week. Ooh, really? Nice. I actually really like the LZGH in general. It's one of my... Oops, I actually did mess this up. LZFE Classified Edition also probably inspired the Jane V2 bottom. I remember someone offered me an LZ Physics from a KFE and I just laughed. I mean, they're completely different layouts too, though. So, but yeah, I love the LZGH. It's a very nice board. LZ Iron was the most Chinese board and a non-Chinese designer created at the time. yeah, for real. For real, it's the precursor to all these crazy Chinese designs almost. That's so true. You and Teha are gonna finish your builds at the same time? Oh, really? Oh, cool. What was the reputation LZ had back in the day at the time? Different times had different reputation, I would say. LZ back in the day, so LZ, I think he's an electrical engineer by profession. Might be wrong, but I think that's right. So he's you know, he's a well-respected person. He's an engineer after all. He did a lot of designs and ran a lot of stuff. Whether it's privately or small buys or whatever, you know. So for a while, I think he was respected as like a prominent designer, like very prolific. And then there was a time he didn't have very good rep because he got associated with specific people that he co-worked with that didn't fulfill well. That was Team Redline. Team Redline had a bunch of designs that that they went through that kind of failed because fulfillment issues, from fulfillment issues to eventually dissolving due to, I think, might have been tax fraud or something like that. Some kind of fraudulent activity happened. They basically dissolved, and LZ was involved in all of that. He was central to that, so he got bad rep from it. LZGH also had some issues because a lot of cases delivered with damage. The color was not as promised. Things like that. There have been some boards among the LZ buys that just had really poor finish, like just, you know, banding on the anodizing, like gashes, scratches, dents, whatever, but well, you know, just problems, right? Manufacturing problems or finishing problems. So there was a time he didn't have a great reputation because of that, like fulfillment issues. Now if you look back in time, you know that he was the ghost designer for all the TX boards, like the old ones, TX87, 84, TXCP, TX 1800, right? Those were all LZ designs technically. He kind of like boasts about it on his blog. And he like posted this picture where he put all the TX boards and it was on his blog, you know. I like kind of like his completed projects kind of thing, and then it was like, oh, so he was the one who did all those boards, because everyone knew that Ken25 is the person who runs TX keyboards. Okay, everyone knew he was not a designer. He ran the store, he ran the logistics, he did all the legwork in terms of the business, the sales, all that stuff. But everyone knew he was not the actual designer. He had someone else work with him, but a lot of people didn't know it was LZ until much later, until basically LZ announced it himself. Didn't really announce it in a post, but basically like put it in his blog being like past work, and it was like TX, you know. And that's kind of how people figured it out. So looking back, you're like, okay, he did so many things. Like not only did he do all his LZ things, but also he did TX. So yeah, TX84 was probably LZ, yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like the background. And then LZ kind of came back later for the CLS series, right? For the classic series. That was the CLS TKL, the first one, the one before this, the predecessor of this one. And then the 60%, the 75%, the 65%, the 96 key, and I think that's it, right? It's LZ CLS, CLS SXH, which is the smallest one. It's like small / happy, like 60%. Then there's the M, I think it's the 75%. The N, which is the 96 key, and the MS is the 65%. And those were the classic, like the LZTLS classic series. That one had a better reputation because the finish was a little better, fulfillment was pretty fast. It was a very bare bones, kind of like very classic wedge shaped design, you know, wedge shelf shaped design, right? Pretty simple. LZ Ergo was before that, I think. LZ Ergo. But the CLS was like 2017 and onwards ish. So that's when LZ came back. He had been banned from Keycaps because of the Team Redline involvement, and then he was unbanned because he was able to demonstrate that he could actually fulfill work by himself. And the CLS series was the thing that he did to kind of launch his career back in Keycaps. And he got back and did CLS series. He did the GHV2. He did the MP. Yeah, I personally got the the 60% I had it for a while. I don't have it anymore. I didn't love it actually. And I have the MP. That was like my CLS copium basically. And then I have a GHV2, but that one I picked up aftermarket. But yeah, yeah, the GHV2 is like post. It's like GH comeback LZ era, so it's like 2018 or so. I don't remember exactly what year. You can check. It's you can Google it. The years kind of speak for themselves. There's a period of time in which he didn't post on Geekhack, and the reason for that was because he was away from Geekhack actually. Like he could not post on Geekhack. So yeah. A lot of the really popular designs like the SERE, FSFE or whatever, all those are like old Korea, mostly Korea-based LZ stuff. So it's like pre-Team Red Line, all that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean he has so many designs, right? Like I think he has like over it, maybe a few dozen, maybe even, I don't know. And then there's like, yeah, there's a ton. I remember, I think maybe it was Nick Heller, maybe it was somebody else like had documented all these, or a lot of it, and I remember seeing a lot of the pictures and being like, oh yeah, wow, he did a lot. Like he has like maybe like 30 or 40 designs, not including whatever currently he has been doing. So yeah, quite a lot. What key set is out on Lily? It's GMK Hammerhead Light. I really dig the XE side profile. So yeah, so the XE side profile, so the XE and the RES are supposed to be remaster versions of the SE and the RE respectively. The reason being that he will not rerun the same board twice. Specifically with his own designs, he basically has explicitly said, I'm not going to run the same exact thing. The CLS, I think, the CLS SE here, he did some changes, right? The only main changes are USB-C port and the weight, the size of the weight, and the placement of the weight. But everything else has pretty much stayed the same. It's the same 8-point top mount. You know, standard wedge angle, typing angle is about the same. I don't remember what exactly it was. I think the CLS might have been a bit steeper. I actually don't remember. But you know, not much has changed from it. But I think that's because the CLS is such a simple design. But in the case of the SE and the RE, they're very popular designs, but they're designs that he was not going to rerun because he, you know, it's like a respect to his collectors or whatever, you know, his fan base. So that's why he didn't. He basically said, I'm not going to do the same design twice. Period. I'll do a twist on it, but I will not do the same exact one. So that's kind of the story behind the LZ board, the LZ remaster boards. So yeah. Okay, put some artisans here. This guy here, our Prage, got a carbon themed RT. Got a this guy. And got this guy. These are all carbon themed guys. Oh, most acrylic could work for Escape too, yeah. I think this works fine though. So I'll just leave it at this. Alright, so we got our full alu and MX black build. Very, very classic, very typical. Let's check it out. So let me get the typing test up and move the mic over. All right, so here we have it. All right, so here we got our LG CLS SE here with the build that was requested. Let's get to try this. Let me get the sound off for the music, and let's try it out. Crazy conspiracy, East Coast West Coast Department of Teha Types LLC. That's what it is. Just kidding. All right, let's try it out. MX Blacks on full aluminum plate with the spacebar screw is not on, by the way. Okay, it's 8-point mount, but just the spacebar screw is not on because I didn't have the screw. All right, here we go. Alright, there it is. Know how you guys feel about it? You can let me know. Here are the mods. Oh, looks like I'm hitting ads for the people who are... I'm gonna wait. There's some people in ads, I think. Didn't realize. Perfect ad timing, seriously, huh? Okay. Now that people are back, I think. All right, here are the mods. Alright, there it is. How do you guys feel about it? Pretty nice, actually. MX Box and Lube. I like how it's not as like high pitched as the HMX. HMX is a little loud for me, but this is a good amount of mutedness. I do imagine it will be a little bit louder with the spacebar screw on. I didn't get a 10th screw, 8th screw, my bad, for whatever reason. But I think with this on, this spacebar would sound a little less like deep, probably more like just like a bit stiffer feeling, but just a little bit more like high pitch, I would say. It's a little bit muted though, for sure. And yeah, it definitely is a pretty muted sound relative to some other boards, you know, that I've tried. This is the new CLS. Yeah, this is the CLS SE. So I can show it to you guys. So this is what the board will look like here. It's definitely not a super interesting design, that's for sure. I mean, it's supposed to be kind of boring. Plain or rectangle, yeah. So there's the sides. Right? And there is the back. The back has this kind of weird, I don't know what kind of coating this is, to be honest. Supposedly some sort of UV, but I don't know what it is. That said, people who did enter the group buy had the option to DM LZ to get a raw brass weight, so that was an option. So yeah, it's like a weird pattern, and it kind of feels like a paper, you know? It has this like paper-like texture. It almost kind of feels like a sticker, yet I don't know if it is. Like, I don't think it is, but yeah. All right. Well, there's our thumbnail for today. All right. So you can look at it from the top here too. Okay, sorry, mute it. All right, there. So this from the top, pretty good old classic TKL here, right? Actually, it looks nice with the red plate here. Gray and red plate is a classic combo. It's the wedge sides here, nothing special. All right. And the back is a nice clean USB-C port. That's actually kind of nice. But yeah, pretty standard stuff. It's a weird finish. Like, it's kind of like this repeating pattern, but kind of feels like some sort of like paper. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's the LZ CLS SE engraving, which is no different from the LZ CLS one, except it just says SE. So that's the only thing. Oh yeah, what's up, Mr. Viper? How's it going, man? Good to see ya. All people's home living room paper, wallpaper. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty different build from this one. This is the one that was originally in the case as Mr. Alex built it. This one has these HMX switches, which are pretty high pitch, right? Much louder. So yeah. I like how you did a photo log for LZ RES. Oh yeah, that was the kind of point. It was kind of like a little blast from the past, except it's not a old board. But yeah, technically not a build log, by the way. It was just a unboxing and just taking a look at it. I'm actually gonna. My plan is to actually take off these switches. So the RES actually use a daughter board. So I'm actually gonna take off these switches, unbuild this basically, and just transfer the stabs and the build over to the RES. So the RES actually is not gonna get like a separate build stream. I'm just gonna transfer it right in and try it out. But I probably won't be doing that today. Just gotta do some other stuff. But yeah. Are the HMX switches long pole? I believe the Macchiatos have these have full travel, don't they? HMX Macchiato. Believe these have full 4mm travel supposedly, but they have that like long pole like sound, I think, because the bottom out happens with the like the plastic parts. They don't? Oh, okay, they don't. It's closer to 3.8 in real life. Okay, or 3.7. Okay, I see. It kind of feels like feels pretty close, but yeah, it definitely still has that long pull sound though. So yeah. I mean, if you like this specific sound signature, then you know. Oh, Mr. Tim, hello. Clickety clackety. Thanks, Viper, for the bits. Mr. Possum, how's it going? Kiwi needs a buggy. Oh, where's Kiwi actually? Oh, he's sleeping still. I think he's now sleeping. He was very beggy earlier for food, but like we can bring Kiwi over. See if he approves of the build. Let me bring him over. Hello. I have brought the sleepiest boy. He's not as talkative now because he already ate. He was just taking a post meal nap after begging. Okay, Kiwi, do you approve of this orange? It has orange on it. Do you approve? What do you think of this? What do you think? What do you think? He's like, I'm out of here. Oh, okay, bye. He wants to go. Okay, bye. He does not approve of LZ. Yeah, too old school for him. Kiwi knows who's in charge. Yeah, I mean, he knows because it's himself. All right. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys have any other questions or anything else, let me know. But otherwise, I think we're pretty much done. Let me see. I think Mr. Nathan is still streaming, so maybe you can go shoot a raid over to him. Yeah, he is. So maybe we can shoot a raid over. All right, so Teha Types LLC, East Coast Department, here for the raid. Meow go. There's our raid message. Alright folks, once again thank you for coming by. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm not sure what I'm building just yet, but you'll see me drop a ping in my server. If you want to join over at socials, you can always check out my Discord and other places. But yeah, thank you again for stopping by, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.